The Arcturian Group Message, October 9, 2016. Greetings, dear ones. We come in the light of a new day and meet you in that place. Do not expect anything to continue as you have known it in the past. This is because the material world you are familiar with was formed from the energy of beliefs that no longer exist. Be open to and embrace change instead of resisting it, for nothing real is ever lost, and ideas based in truth, reality, will always reappear in new and higher forms of expression when needed. The Arcturian group wishes to speak of justice, which in reality is a spiritual idea, a facet of divine consciousness, the concepts of which are now shifting into higher expression. In a three-dimensional world, one based in duality and separation, justice is commonly thought of as an eye for an eye, and many religious belief systems still teach this concept using the Bible for their reference. What is often ignored is that this quote is from the Old Testament of the Bible, written long ago for the unenlightened consciousness of those times. There is truth hidden in many of the stories for those who read them with eyes to see and ears to hear, but most still interpret them literally. The concept of an eye for an eye was supposed to have been moved beyond when the Master Jesus taught, "I come to bring a new testament," but the people of those times and even now, were not yet ready to embrace this. Justice is a balance of energy. Since there is only one energy, that one always seeks to align with itself, come into oneness, and is experienced as fairness within a world that does not yet know about oneness. It often manifests through what the metaphysical world calls karma, which is a balancing of energies, and not the punishment or revenge that many believe it to be. Karma is the experiencing of energy formed and held through ignorance by an individual, and often carried over lifetimes until the person is spiritually ready to experience and learn from their creations. Karma has been a part of every soul's learning journey, up to now. Karma becomes irrelevant once you have evolved beyond that state of consciousness. Let go of any concepts about karmic retribution you may still hold for yourself, for you are now able to clear, balance, and resolve issues on a higher level, through your attained consciousness of truth. Moving into a higher sense of justice often presents a dilemma for serious students of truth trying to do the right thing. In their zeal to be open and spiritual, and believing that they are practicing unconditional love, they often end up ignoring or sweeping under the rug activities that need to be brought to light for the good of all involved. True justice means helping another in ways that their attained state of consciousness can relate to, which can be anything from prison, probation, or just a good lecture. It does no good to quote the Bible or speak of the innate value of personal rights, if the individual's consciousness is simply unable to align with that approach. Justice is a spiritual activity, a facet of everyone's daily life, and not limited to the law and courts. Teachers, parents, family, and friends all experience opportunities to practice justice, from the smallest of events to the most profound. Justice in today's world remains for many an acceptable excuse for revenge, hatred, anger, etc. However, world consciousness is quickly opening to the understanding that everyone is connected, and that what you do, see, believe about another, you do, see, and believe about yourself. This is why you are witnessing intense clashes between an old belief system struggling to remain in power, and the new consciousness that values all within the one. Never fear, for one with God is the majority. Justice is unconditional love, expressed according to the need of the individual. There cannot be a one-size-fits-all within the higher sense of justice, and as evolving souls you must come to understand and accept justice in ways that reflect this. Justice seen simply as punishment reflects duality and separation, but justice seen as an opportunity to help another grow beyond their present state of consciousness reflects the new and more evolved awareness. When you observe others suffering, the temptation is to wish revenge upon those causing it. The belief in separation remains strong, having been a part of everyone's belief system for many lifetimes. When you experience these negative emotions, try not to push them away in an effort to bury, deny, resist them, but simply acknowledge them as a part of who you are at this time. Then without self-judgment or criticism, examine and begin to shift your belief system. What beliefs am I still holding about others? Are these beliefs truth in the light of what I now know and profess to hold as truth? After honest examination, simply move on about your day, not giving any lingering old concepts and beliefs power they do not have. Again, we must emphasize that certain individuals do need to be removed from society, and very firm actions may constitute appropriate and loving action for them. The unevolved state of consciousness, one functioning fully in third-dimensional energy, is simply not yet able to grasp the concept of oneness. Solutions are provided at all levels of consciousness because solutions are actually the material sense of divine completeness. Those in positions of dispensing justice who have attained a consciousness of true justice, are able to recognize, they are often not aware of this, the true essence of every person who comes before them, and are then intuitively guided as to what that individual requires for learning and growth. The punishment then reflects as best it can what is most appropriate, and will flow with higher energies. At this time, the whole of the three-dimensional belief system is shifting, old ideas are being let go, and new ones are being accepted, known, and practiced from perspectives never before considered. Some are unable to accept a higher sense of justice, and for them, there is confusion and conflict, for they are as of yet unable to separate justice from punishment and revenge. Justice, like all divine ideas, must be understood in its deeper sense if an individual is to spiritually evolve. The higher sense of justice is one that assists another to learn, grow, and evolve from his actions. It involves creating situations in which a person can begin to open his heart to love for him/herself as well as others through methods not based in self-loathing, but in ways that assist the person to see a bigger picture. An example of a simple idea that reflects the higher sense of justice can be seen in those prisons that bring in homeless shelter dogs for care and training by inmates. For many of them, this is the first time they have ever experienced unconditional love. They must first experience and understand what love is, before they can begin to live and practice it themselves. This type of program is a good example of how the energies of light flow in a practical ways according to what is needed, helping to shift those receptive into a new place, and opening them to the idea that perhaps after all they are lovable. Lack of self-love and acceptance is the root of almost all crime and violence. Individuals taught to believe that they are less than or unlovable, or who carry these energies in cellular memory, lash out to all around them physically, emotionally, and mentally, in an effort to prove that they are worthy of respect. They pass this energy to their children, and it continues from generation to generation. There are also those who believe that they have all the right answers about God and life, and that it is their duty to force these beliefs on others, simply another attempt to prove that they are worthy of respect. As with all facets of life on earth, love is the only solution, not some emotional, melodramatic concept of love, but real unconditional love, which is nothing more than the conscious realization of divinity, as the true essence of every living thing. Continually practiced, this awareness gradually becomes your attained state of consciousness, allowing you to easily recognize the light within every person, even those deemed unworthy of love by society. Vote for judges who have attained a consciousness of mercy, and uphold the spirit of the law versus the letter of it. Support those in law and order, who do their work with an open heart, even when strength or force is needed. Try not to automatically condemn those working to make the world a safer place for you, putting them all into the same category because of the actions of an unawakened few. This is the new consciousness, and is what you have worked so hard to bring about. Some expected the new energies to mean they could sit back and enjoy life with no problems or bad guys or change, while maintaining their comfortable belief system. You have discovered instead that you have become the workers and the ones most often catching heat for honoring changes that a majority may not like. Stay brave, and trust that you are doing exactly what you as an evolved soul came to do. As you allow each day be new and fresh, letting go of any concepts of how things should be, you will quickly begin to have experiences that are totally new, and will soon find yourselves in peace, joy, wholeness, and abundance, in spite of what may be going on around you, because you have attained a consciousness that knows those things are the reality. We are the Arcturian group. Channeled by Marilyn Raphael. www.onenessofall.com